Hi, welcome to our first session in our beginner series. My name is Lauren O'Sullivan. I am one of the yoga teachers with Help for Heroes. I work with trauma and breathwork.
Hi, my name is Francesca Bingley. I'm a registered nurse and I'm also a Hatha yoga teacher. And when I work with people using yoga to adapt and find ways of working with the nervous system. So today, this session in particular is going to be a completely seated, or actually you could do it lying down practice. It's non-movement based. So it's about getting yourself really comfortable, and we're going to be using breath work and also some meditation to rebalance our nervous system, energize ourselves. So we have something that in yoga we call virya, which is some real enthusiasm for our lives, but also something that's going to be able to help us soothe. So we're not just going to be feeling anxious or on edge, it's being able to actually work with the nervous system to relax it. So the way we're going to be doing that, this particular practice, is going to be based on sensations from the head especially, but also downward in the body. So because it's not going to be movement based, it's particularly appropriate if you have a spinal cord injury. So it doesn't matter where in the spine or to what extent, as long as it comes up to usually about C3 level. So providing you can actually access your breath in some way, doesn't matter even if it's a very small breath, you're going to be able to do this practice. This practice also is very good if you can't move your body today, that's okay. Like if you're having a really tough day and you think actually it's not appropriate for me to try and move too much, you could do this if you're on bed rest or if you're just needing something much gentler for your system. So it's just about really checking in with what you need. So the first thing that I'm going to ask Lauren to do is get herself comfy. So this at home could look like you've got lots of cushions around you, you could be on the sofa, you could be lying down if you need to be. It's as long as you're comfortable so that you don't feel like your body's going to be aggravated during this practice. So especially if you're in a wheelchair, it means again just getting set up right in whatever way you need a bit of assistance to begin with. Okay. So from that point, there's an option here. I often teach with my eyes closed, and a lot of the people that I work with also opt to close their eyes. It doesn't matter if the eyes are open or closed, but it can make it a bit easier because you're not having your awareness drawn outward. So just allow yourself to come into your body in whatever way that you can feel it, start connecting with that. So if you're closing your eyes, you're just turning that awareness inward. So just being aware of that edge of where you can feel, you've got sensation to wherever it is in your body, and also to the areas that start going maybe numb, maybe there's a lot of tingling, maybe there's silence. So it's just being aware of your body today. Very slowly, just start connecting with what's brought you to practice today with us. So this is about finding that sort of inner desire. What is it that you're looking for? We call this bhakti. So what is it that's bringing the enthusiasm to practice today? So just find that in yourself. And it's quite nice to actually, at the beginning of your session, just really set that intention. Sort of seal it in internally. So you think, right, this is why I'm doing this. This is what I'm looking for. I'm going to remind you at the end of this session about it as well. So just really connect to it now. And allow yourself to take an internal bow to this practice. So just saying thank you to yourself for dedicating a little bit of time. We use the word, a Sanskrit word, of namaste, meaning thank you, as a way of dedicating this practice. So namaste. Very slowly now, we're going to connect with our breath. And the way we're going to introduce this is through something we call the R breath. So in whatever way you can, just breathe in through your nose, nice and gently to begin with. And the R breath is out of the mouth, a bit like a sigh. So it's in your own time. It doesn't even need to be in time with me or Lauren. It's just finding a slow inhale through the nose in your own time. Exhaling out of the mouth. So whether you have got some elasticity to the lungs already, it doesn't matter. You just work with what's going on in your body today. That's slow inhales through the nose, and like a sigh or almost a wave, you breathe out of the mouth. It's slowly starting to engage with the throat muscles, at the back of the throat in particular, that you're able to create a sound or like a sensation of breath as if you're trying to fog up a glass or a mirror. Think of them as your whisper muscles. So the reason we're doing this is to slow your breath down, creating a bit of sound to the breath so you can really engage with your own breath. And you start engaging with that control, that you are in charge. So again, there's no point comparing, even to yourself. It can be different every day. You just work with your nervous system, work with the sensations, and you work with your breath as it is today. In whatever way you can, see if you can connect a little bit of what we call pulse, spanda, with this breath. So you might find you've got a little bit of head movement that goes with this breath. You may be doing it without even realizing, but whenever you find yourself inhaling, just allow your head, maybe even your gaze of your eyes, even with the eyelids closed, doesn't matter. You just follow the breath. So every time inhaling, the gaze would go up. Maybe the head and neck ever so slightly, maybe fractionally lift with. And as you exhale out, the head and neck might slightly drop. So you work with what your body can do. This is that pulse, you're working with the breath. What you might find over time is that the exhale in particular will get longer. It's very normal for us to have a little bit more capacity to have a longer exhale. It's very useful for soothing our nervous system. So what you may be feeling, it doesn't matter if it's only slightly, is that, I'm starting to relax a little bit. So you always have access to this first tool, this first type of breath. Okay, so we've been soothing part of our autonomic nervous system here. Now we're going to introduce something a little bit more dynamic. So we've got a little bit of control of our breath. We're going to come into something called double breathing. So we found that soothing breath. Now, very importantly, the double breath is going to be all in our belly. So when we're doing this, trust your body, because often we find that so let's say if we've been used to our whole lives breathing in the upper part of our body, it can be very tight, but naturally our bellies actually want to do the breath work for us. And especially if someone has an injury higher up that's been affecting how we breathe, so as part of whether it's pain related or it's part of the spinal cord, our bellies will still be able to breathe for us. So this will kick in. So trust yourself. Some days it's going to feel very light, that you can only do a little bit of control of this breath. Other days you'll find that the lungs will have opened out, the whole of the respiratory system is really engaged, and you'll feel a bigger breath. It doesn't matter. It's just doing what you can on that day. So what we're going to do in this particular session is 3 rounds of double breathing. We're going to do it all together. Sometimes we find it easier actually to close our eyes and listen to the pulse of this breath. It can get a little bit confusing if we use our eyes all the time. So trust yourself. And also it's not going to be perfect. So don't expect yourself to nail it first time. It's about just giving it a go, finding this pulse and really energizing the whole system through this breath. Okay, so we're actually going to come into it how we've just been doing with the R breath. So it's a very simple way of coming in. So I'm going to ask Lauren to take an inhale up. And it's an exhale out of the mouth to empty out, and it's going to be 2 parts. But first we take a natural inflation to allow the body to take inhale. I'm going to start 2 exhales out of the mouth. Away you go. It's 2 in through the nose now. Out through the mouth. Always 2 parts. So you join in. And keep it steady. Two more. Last one. Exhale, ah breath, empty out in the way you can. See if you can have a slight pause at the end of the exhale. Before then choosing an inhale, rising up through your nose, into your chest, into your lungs, holding at the top for a moment or two. Before then exhale, ah breath, release, empty out. And then actually drop your breath. You might find that for a few moments, you don't feel the need to breathe. This is very normal. Whenever the breath does feel like it needs to come in, just allow it to be gentle in the background. But instead of being aware of the breath, bring your attention into your body. So it's being with any sensations that are taking place. Could be that you feel like a fizz, maybe a buzz of energy, of bubbling up. It might be just in your head. Maybe you feel it lower down, maybe in chest, maybe in even belly. Just allow your body to be still and have these sensations play themselves out. We call this connecting with our energy, energized stillness. So there's nothing that's wrong or right in this. You're just being with how your system is today. We're going to take another round of this double breathing. So again, we're going to come in the same way as we did before, taking an inhale through the nose, filling up. Exhale, ah breath, releasing out. Taking a natural inflation when you're ready. And start with 2 exhales out of the mouth, away you go. Nose, mouth. Two more. Last one. Exhale, ah, breath empty out. Slight pause before then choosing that inhale slowly through the nose, filling up, coming to that top. Before then choosing the exhale, ah, breath, release, shedding tension with the exhale. Coming into your energized stillness, releasing any expectations about how you should or shouldn't feel, being with the big sensations, being with the energy that you've already stoked, that you've activated in your nervous system. Keep dropping that tension and ideas of how you think it should be. You're going to come into one more round of your double breathing. So all together we take an inhale into the heart. Exhale, ah, breath, release, dropping that tension. Take a natural inflation. Start with 2 exhales, away you go. One more. Exhale, breath emptying out. Slight pause before allowing an inhale, rebound to fill up, connecting with that fullness of your breath. Holding for a moment before exhale, breath, shedding tension, coming into your energized stillness. Really listening to the sensations. Noticing the areas that might be numb, tingling, silent. Just being with the energy in your system today. Very gently now. Start becoming aware of your breath. In whatever way you can, put your mind's energy, your focus, and just notice, for example, as maybe the air comes in through the nose and it leaves your nose. Just noticing maybe temperature, the slight coolness of the breath as it comes in. And whenever it's leaving through the nose, just notice a little bit of warmth that's there. If you're finding that breathing through your nose can be a little bit difficult, there's two ways to work with it. Either creating a little bit of that whisper constriction at the back of the throat. This can get underneath a lot of mucus, can help open up the sinuses. Or it could be that every so often you just need to take a little bit of a mouth breath. Both are fine. Just working with your system today. It's just being aware of how it is in the breath, but also in how you're feeling in the neck and head. Just feeling if there's a little bit of that pulse again that we introduced right at the beginning, of when you're inhaling, there's a little bit of a lift, even if this is with just the eyes, whether that open or close, just being conscious of what your eyes are doing. So whenever you find yourself breathing in, your eyes would be going upward. So you feel an internal lift of energy, like a pulse upward, and then a relaxing and an easing off as you exhale. So just following your own natural breath now. Notice the edges again. So those internal edges of where you go from sensation in the body, maybe where you can feel a lot, to where it goes quiet. Remind yourself of those edges and how you can grow out of them. So it doesn't matter where it is within the body. Maybe for some people you've got a lot of sensation going on and you can really feel what you're seated on. So maybe this is the hips, the legs, the pelvis. Maybe you feel your hands somewhere in a place. It's working with whatever you can feel. So in whatever sense that it's touching something. It could be that you really feel your shoulders, and that's where you grow out of. It's finding that sense of base. So it's the point you return to with your breath on the exhale. And then when you choose an inhale, you grow out of that base, up to the highest point in your body. So often this will be the top of our head. But it could be that if you're laying in bed, you're working from the back of your body. So it could be the back of the head to the front of the head, for example. Just working with that pulse. This sensation might change day to day as well. So again, it's just working from where you're growing out of to the absolute extreme where you feel and back again. A bit like the tide. So we're going to take a few more internal pulses like this with our breath. Just notice the changes within your system. And then we're actually going to come into another round of double breathing. It's going to be much lighter this time. So whatever effort you did the first time round, dial it back, make it maybe 50%, maybe even less. We're going to get a little bit more energy into our system before then going still again and coming into a guided internal meditation where we take a tour of the body, 61-point body rotation. Okay, but first, those 10 double breaths. So we're going to prepare as we did before, where we take an inhale through the nose into the heart. Exhale, our breath to release, shedding that tension. Take a natural inflation. And start with 2 exhales out of the mouth. Away you go. Last one. Exhale, our breath, release, relax. Then allow the rebound to come in, filling up, inhaling. Feel your energy, then exhale, our breath. Come into your energized stillness once more. But just soften. Allow your breath to be exactly how it needs to be. No control, drop it. Let go. And instead bring your awareness, your focus, even your imagination if needed, to the point between your eyebrows. Now as we go around the body, it's very normal for areas to be very quiet, if not completely silent. That's okay. The same for even if for some of us we don't feel part of the body, we never have, again, that's okay. And if you're someone that's practicing who's even lost a limb, for example, you also still put your mind's awareness, your imagination into that body part. It all works. So keeping your eyes closed as much as you can, you bring your awareness to the point between your eyebrows. Now moving down, base of throat, right shoulder, right elbow, right wrist, right thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, right wrist, right elbow, right shoulder, base of throat, left shoulder, left elbow, left wrist, left thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, left wrist, left elbow, left shoulder, base of throat, moving down, center of chest, right chest, center of chest, left chest, center of chest, navel, pubic bone, right hip, right knee, right ankle, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, little toe, right ankle, right knee, right hip, pubic bone, left hip, left knee, left ankle, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, little toe, left ankle, left knee, left hip, pubic bone, navel, center of chest, base of throat, point between your eyebrows. Now allow your focus, your awareness to expand so that it goes throughout the whole of your body. Be in the whole of your body. Whole body. Just noticing any sensations and dropping any ideas about how it should or shouldn't be. Just being in the whole of your body. Now allow yourself to do the same for your energy, your emotions. Just noticing how it is today in your system. Whether there's a lot of energy or actually it feels a little bit flat. Maybe there's a strong emotion. Maybe it feels actually quite empty of emotion. Allow yourself to drop the judgment about how it should or shouldn't be. And now do the same for your mind. Just notice how it is. Are there lots of thoughts or very few thoughts? Give yourself permission for your mind to be however it needs to be. Allowing yourself to drop the ideas. Instead, just notice. Now gently allowing the body to be there, the energy and emotions, and the mind. Just notice the place within you that's doing the noticing. That place that's in our center, that's just noticing how everything's going on. And that's often quietly prompting us. It's quietly guiding us that it's the one that will tell us, oh, you need to relax. Or maybe it's the one that says, you need to do just a little bit more. It's the one that guides us as to what we need to be in balance with ourselves, how we want to feel, who we want to be, how we want to express ourselves. Just pay attention to that place within you that's quietly teaching and guiding you as to what you need to be healthy and in balance for your own life. And it's into this space now. I'm going to ask you to breathe. So wherever it feels in your body, Even in maybe your mind, just breathe into that space so that every time you inhale, you're bringing in some energy into that place. Every time you exhale, you're allowing to get the things that have been blocking you to leave. So you're releasing with the exhale. So with every inhale, you're bringing in what you need for your system, for your life, your body. And every time you exhale, you're releasing and shedding those tensions, those blocks, the things that are just getting in your way. Just taking a few more of these breaths, feeling what it is to fully breathe into the space so you get to be a master of your own life. Couple more. We're going to take one more as we head towards the very end of our practice to really feel what the breath does for you. And then in whatever way you can, bring a little bit more energy to the next breath. Bring it up. Feel the energy rise upwards. Maybe even the eyes will go up, even with the eyes closed. Exhaling, allowing a bit of that relax, that let go, the tension. You're going to take another breath to draw the practice to a close. So bring the energy upward. Imagine offering up the practice. And then the exhale, it's an internal bow. So in whatever way you can, you let go of the breath. You internally or physically drop the head, that little bit of a chin tilt. And you just say thank you to yourself for dedicating a bit of time to practice. Remind yourself of what it was, that intention that brought you to the practice today. You say a little bit of thank you for those that are practicing with you. And you also say a thank you to the practice itself. And as always, I finish with the Sanskrit word of thank you, of Namaste.